What is up, folks? Bristine Gaming back with another episode of 7 Days to Die Mods Weekly. This is a special episode. These are my top 5 favorite server-side mods. Now, to kick things off, the reason I'm doing this is because I've seen people asking about different kinds of mods and stuff like that, and then playing on different servers where I've kind of bounced around. I've seen how people do stuff. These mods are ones that I almost always use when I'm playing with a group of friends. That's why I'm putting this list together. And these mods increase the amount of playability you have in the game. They also help out, new players, stuff like that. But they also add a lot of content for being server side only. Now, there's not a lot of quests and stuff like that, but there are some, and they do add in a lot of things just to make the game a lot more fun. So with that, we're gonna go ahead and jump to the first one, and the first mod is the Bushcraft Bites by A20. And this is a cool thing that when you come in here to your fire and you look at this stuff, if we type in bush, it gives a whole bunch of recipes that you can craft with all basic stuff. And the reason I like this so much is because these things really kind of should be in the game already, but it adds like another food source, for early game stuff before you really have a farm going and you've really got a lot of stuff going on. You see, you've got like bushcraft acorn tea, bone broth, pinecone tea, things like, if you're, one of those types of people where you're out and about, gathering stuff, that you can make some of these things. I've seen people make acorn bread or other things like that. Pinecone jam. You got a bushcraft tin can tucker thing where you take a whole bunch of different tin can stuff and you can make a stew out of it. You've also got, where is it? You got, see, like acorn bread here. I mean, you've got like a feral stew, and some of these are unlocked with the first few levels of Master Chef. Some are just, ones that you can make just right out. But the Leatherface, this is kind of cool because you're cooking hide. You're basically making pork rinds is really what this is. For anybody who doesn't know, it's just, it's kind of how you make a pork rind. And that's why this is kind of cool, because of, it's a small, simple little server-side mod that takes in-game assets, especially ones that really don't get used much, seeds and things like that, and you can actually make them into food, which, really helps out, especially, on a big server. If you're playing with a lot of people, early game can be kind of hard to find foods. With this, it greatly helps out. But with that, we're going to go ahead and move on to the next mod. Alright, folks, so this next mod is the Oaks Pets and Animal Guards by A20, Oak Raven, Dre, Dayhawk, and a couple other people who have put together this awesome mod that just brings in a bunch of different cool stuff. So you've actually got a bunch of different pets here. You've got a doe, a coyote, a wolf, a bear, a boar, a stag, a pig, chicken, rabbit. And then you've even got chicken coops and rabbits that you can break open the traps and get eggs, meat, feathers, stuff like that. But then you've also got these cool animal guards. You've got a boar, a lion, a bear, and a wolf. As you see, I've got these out there. So that's the bear. That's the awesome looking wolf. And then you have the lion over here. And then you've got the boar there. And these things can actually do some decent damage. You actually can buy these from the traders and stuff like that, or find them if you get lucky from an airdrop. But these things can do some serious damage to hordes if you're lucky enough to set them out. You can actually have these fight for you a little bit. So we're actually going to go ahead and we're going to spawn in a don't want to do a radiated. We'll just do a bow. See, look at that lion go to town, and that boar running up here to help. Look at that. They'll take care of some zombies and stuff for you. But like I said, you've also got cool pets that we've got back here. So we've got the little, stag sitting there wandering around. We got the doe there. And look, just sitting there. And if you wanted to be mean, you could kill it and then harvest it for resources, but I mean, what kind of sick person would want to do that to their pet? It's not like it's the end of the... Wait a minute. But then in here, you know, we've got more pets, more stuff. We got a little rabbit, bear, wolf, more stuff there. And then these are the rabbit cages and chicken coops. So you can actually sit here, break these. Oop, I'm breaking them down too far. But we have a trapped rabbit. I'll just go ahead and break this one. I broke it down farther than I intended. So we'll do this one and break down the chicken. So now, if a hatched chicken and a rabbit. So now we have another chicken that we can place down. We can come over here and we can just set the chicken there. And we'll do the same thing to the rabbit here. Get a rabbit for placement. Go ahead and place the rabbit, and then we can bloop chicken. And bloop rabbit. And then there we go. We have meat, feathers. Look at that. And that's why this is so cool. You know, you combine this with the other mod, and this really makes it easy to, you know, really support people. It's a server side mod, so you're playing with friends and stuff like that. You can have a bunch of food, you know, early on, especially when you start buying these things from the traders. The only ones you can't buy from the traders are the chicken and the rabbit, and you actually have to craft those. So if we type in, you do rabbit feed, you actually have to craft this, and you have to craft the feed, and there's a lot you have to do to it, but it is worth it because it gives you a sustainable food source, which is just beyond fantastic. You know what, these guys in here making some noise, so we're just gonna go ahead and, sorry guys, we'll be back to harvest you in a minute. But that's why this mod is so cool, because it does give you a lot of different sources for food. You have animal guards that you can set out to fight for you on a horde night. And depending upon how they can handle this with updating the mod, there will be human guards, another vehicle, a bunch of cool stuff that they're adding in that was there in Alpha 19 that had to get taken out when everything came over to Alpha 20. But this mod has got a lot compacted into it for just being a server-side mod. But with that, we're going to go ahead and move on to the next mod. Alright folks, so this next mod is the enZombies by Errol, Snufkin, Aramis, K's Music. Like, there's so much here that I can only spawn in just a small sample to show you guys. But let's go here. Oop, that's the wrong button. If I come in, I've got EN typed up there. Ignore the chicken, but look at how many pages are here. You've got, you know, it's one page there, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It goes into 10 pages of different zombies that are here that you can freaking bring in, and that are just going to populate throughout the world, that are all server side. So, you know, instead of seeing the same thick looking zombie or the big guy or Bo or whomever, you're going to see a lot more diversity in your zombies, which really does make the game feel a lot better and a lot more lived in. Like, you've got these little burnt goblins here, you've got this big snow giant there, a different businessman, like, just so much here. You have this little dude here, Pickaxe Pedro, you got Stabby Starla. Like, the names of these are just hilarious. You have a desert giant swinging around some big ass cactuses. I know it's actually cacti, but I like to say cactuses. Like, there's just so much that this mod adds to really help, you know. Holy shnikes, she went flying. And that's the other cool thing I love about this, is the Uma zombies that these are based off of, the character thing, has some pretty impressive ragdoll physics. So it actually can help you out a lot too when you're fighting a big group of zombies. If you get a good power hit, or you get the ragdoll going just right, you can launch these guys stupid far away from you. So you create a lot of breathing room. If that building wasn't there, it makes me wonder how far that guy would have flown. Let's see. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Goal. Field goal, people. Let's see. Let's see if we can get this guy to clear the lamppost. Oh, oh, oh. Ah, that's hilarious. I wonder if this dude will bounce off the ground. Holy shit, did he bounce so high? Did he fall through the ground, or did he bounce so high he disappeared? Oh man, that was cool. Bye-bye. I love that the most about the about this mod is, yeah, it's awesome that it's server side and it brings in a ton of zombie types that you can play around with. And it's also really neat too, because there is one that's kind of more of an adult version, so you might accidentally see some you know, pixelated boobies, or there's one that's not as adult rated, so you're not going to run into the pixelated boobies. But, you know, depends upon how you want to play. If you're playing with kids and stuff like that, you know, you've got some options. But it's really cool because it adds in just a ton of stuff. Like, if I come back into the menu again, you see there are just a ton of zombies here. Like, there's so much that you're just seeing all of these. Like, actually, here, I keep hitting the wrong button. Let's pull up some this Screamer. I like the new model of the Screamer, but that looks kind of cool too, because she looks kind of twisted. I love the name Costco Karen. Oh, shut up. Holy snitch, you went far. I think that was probably one of the farthest ones. That's crazy. But this is an awesome mod. But with that, we're going to go ahead and jump on to the next one. Alright folks, so the next mod is the Snufkin Weapon Expansions by Aramis, Snufkin, Slawa, Shodenkelferus, and a couple other people. I know I'm missing some people, but this thing adds in a ton of weapons to the game. Not only does it add in weapons, it adds in some cool mods for helmets that I'm going to show you here in a second. But look at how many weapons it adds. So we've got 3, so what, 26, 29 weapons, something like that, if I did my math right. Probably didn't, but it adds in a ton. It adds in a ton of weapons, and that's one thing the game is desperately lacking, is weapons. It adds in a bunch of melees, guns, just a whole bunch of stuff. You have an Oak Raven. Let me just go ahead and throw that on the ground. Like, look at this thing. Let me go F5 so you can see what it looks like. It looks super cool. It's like, just, man, that thing looks neat. And it fires 44, which, you know, something has been needed for a long time now. But that's why I like this mod so much, is not just the way that the weapons look, but having different guns use different types of ammo, which has been desperately needed for a long time. There's just so much that looks good about this mod. There's so much that this mod does right for it being a server side mod. It's just so awesome. That is so weird. I don't know why they added the jar on the bottom of it, but it does look cool. I do like it. There's just so many of these things are just so good to have. And this is cool because we have a nice little server side rapid fire semi-automatic crossbow. I said before, you know, I wish there was another one. Well, here we go. We got one. It looks nice. It's a really nice weapon, and you know, no other one that I've seen besides the Magbo I showed last episode has this, which is why this is so cool. I love this thing. I love this mod because it adds in so many different weapons, just so many. And if any of you guys saw my Darkness Falls server videos, a lot of these mods were on there, or a lot of these weapons were in there just because of how awesome they are, because of the stuff that goes on with these. Now, these don't all have the exact same things that were tweaked by the Darkness Falls server owner, but they're still really awesome. Like, I love these. these by far and away were probably just the weapons I use the most eventually on that server, just because of how cool they are. Just being able to just sit here and just punch and the lifesteal and stuff like that. It's just so phenomenal. And then having a freaking quad shotgun here. And you can find these all, you know, fairly early in the game too. I say all, but you can find a lot of these fairly early in the game. And the baseball bats, they're a lot better than the ones you're going to normally find in the game. Like a lot better. And then they have this cool weapon durability mod, which can greatly increase, like I think it's like by 50%, the weapons durability. But let's get into the real meat and potatoes of this and show you guys something super cool. So you see all these different hats. So we're actually going to go ahead and put this one on. And then I'm going to do F5. Look at that. Look at that. We're going to come in here. You take a look at this. It's the cow helmet mod. So it increases the strength, damage resistance, cold and heat resistance, fire and electric shock resistance, fortitude, and agility. Can be found on hardened chests. So and that's what's cool is this is a server side thing that does all of this, that adds in all of these really awesome effects. Like, just look at it. Dude is walking around with a freaking bull head on his head. Like, that's just so freaking cool. But, oop, now he's a pumpkin. Now he's got a landmine or something on his head. Now he's got a big old wagon wheel on his back. Now he's got a big old dead bird. Now that just looks like the bird's trying to grab him. He's got a little rabbit on his shoulder. Snake wrapped around the neck. A big old backpack full of guns. This is probably one of my favorites just because of how it looks. I actually like the look of that. But that's why this is such an awesome mod, is the stuff that it adds just looks so freaking good. And it, you know, the weapons are amazing looking, the helmet mods are awesome, and they're all cosmetic. That's what's even better about it. Like, walk around as Speakerhead. Like that just looks so cool. I love that. I love it so much. I love everything about this mod. But we're going to go ahead and jump over to the last one. Alright folks, so the last mod is the A20 Serverside Vehicles by Aramis, Snufkin, Oakraven, and a couple of other people that add in a decent number of strictly serverside vehicles that all look really neat. Like, I love, let's go ahead and freeze the AI. I got some zombies around here smashing on something. Like, look at this little sled. A little dog, a little chair. Sounds like you're riding on a bike. And it uses your stamina like you're riding on a bike. Oh, it's a little dark. Let's adjust the time just a little bit so you can see. But look, it's fairly fast. Like, it's a pretty decent, fast little... What is going on with my dude's feet? It's a decent, fast little little vehicle. And you come and you look at the storage, you know, same size as a bike, but it looks really cool. I like the way it looks. You've got a little shark blimp here. Yep, just like the gyrocopter, which I am not good at flying. But look at it. Flying around on a dang shark. This is just so freaking cool. I love this. Just sitting here flying around on a shark. No biggie. No biggie. You know, nothing to see here, people. If there were people up there, that'd be even better. Just, so cool. And that's actually a really good design. Like, I don't know how they made that server side, honestly. But that is super neat. Getting here on this thing. The whirligig. Okay. So this one flies a little bit differently. Oh, schniddle poop. Okay, I really don't know how to fly this thing. Come on. Oop. Game kind of froze there for a second. Come on. Whoa. Okay, you know what? I'm not even gonna attempt that. There's a peeping Tom over there trying to get into that house. Sicko. But there's a lot of vehicles to this. And it adds in stuff that desperately needs to be, you know, a thing in game. Like just having the basic vehicles that are there, it's just so boring. I love this one. Unfortunately, you can't use the gun. But man, if you could, it would be... Oop. The game keeps slowing down and freezing up on me. Look at how high that thing jumped. You can get some good leaps on it. Decently quick. Whoa. Hard to steer, but man, does it look neat. And you can jump high as crap on it. You got these things here, which look awesome. Come on, get into the house, Mikey. Look at this. Man, if those spikes on the front did extra damage, that would be so freaking cool. I don't think they do, though. But still, this is just a, you know, it's an awesome mod that adds in a decent amount of content, you know, new vehicles and stuff like that to play around with. That's why this is, you know, one of the top mods for Serverside because of what it adds in. If you're playing with a bunch of people, you know, each person can pick their own little things. I actually liked flying around on the shark. I thought that was fun. And then riding around with the wolf pulling you on a sled. It's just... It's a Serverside mod. These are so awesome. These are great for playing with a lot of different people. That's why I'm bringing you guys this list. I've been playing around with a lot more people lately. Something like this list, these mods can really help out a group. But with that, we are done. Thanks for sticking around. I hope you had fun. Make sure you like, subscribe, drop a comment down below. Let me know what you think. Have fun, take it easy, and we'll see you next time.